Hiya, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this hanging shelf using Poundland things mostly. So it's a pretty simple shelf to actually make, and obviously depending on the size you want you can make it different sizes as well. So to start off with, you're going to need some frames. I got these ones from Poundland. They're kind of like a deep edge frame that's already got like some artwork in it. You don't have to use deep edge frames, but I like this one because it will hide the knots underneath. So just take off the hanging bit, and I'm going to use the back as the top of the shelf. I'm then going to drill a hole in each of the corners. You want to make sure it's evenly spaced out, and you want to do this as many times as the amount of shelves you've got or that you want. So I'm doing 2. I'm then going to cover it in some sticky vinyl. This you can also get from Poundland. This exact one I've got though came from the range. It is a bit more expensive, but I was using it for a larger project. But the one from Poundland is pretty similar. You can get different ones. You can get a wooded effect one, 2 different colours of that. One's darker than the other. And you can get one like very similar to this that is more marbled effect. And they're just £1 a roll, which will cover a few shelves depending on how big your canvases are or your frames. So I'm just going to carefully cover the top and sides with this, making sure there's no bubbles. I want the top flat. So once I've done that, I'm going to re-poke those holes. I've done it this way because just in case if I mucked up where I was going to put the holes, then the sticky back stuff will cover it. So this is what it looks like. Like I say, you're going to need it for however many shelves you want. I'm just doing 2 shelves for mine. So I've got both of them. Next you're going to need some rope. I've got this kind of like plasticky stuff that you use for gardens. It's really strong even though it's kind of thin. But you want like a decent size rope if you weren't using normal rope. So you want a fairly long length of this, depending again on how many shelves you want. So you want to fold each bit over. So the folded edge is one side. Then a little way down, I think mine was about 20 centimeters down, I'm going to mark it. And this is where I'm going to tie the knots for the first shelf. So I'm just going to get a Sharpie pen and do that. This is the reason I'm keeping them all together as well, because you need the dots in the exact right place, otherwise your shelf's going to be wonky. So then you're going to go down to however big a gap you want for your shelves, because depending on what you want on the shelves, depending on how big a gap you actually need. And then I'm going to make another few dots on the rope to show where I want the next shelf as well. So next I am going to put a metal hoop onto each of the bits of rope. So I've got 2 of these bits of rope, one for each side of the shelves. Then I'm going to get some sellotape and just put this on the end of the rope, and this will just make it easier to thread through the shelves. You know, like on the end of your shoelace there's like a plastic bit to make it easier to thread through your shoes. This is the kind of same thing. So I'm going to take the thread, put one side through one hole, and then the other side through the other one on the same side of the shelf. So everything's at the bottom. Because this rope's kind of thin, I've put a bolt on the end of this. I've threaded it on. Then I'm going to put a knot to hold it in place. Again, because this is quite thin, I actually done it in a couple of knots, so it makes a bigger knot, and then it won't pop through that hole there. If I'd just done the one knot, as soon as I'd put anything on the shelf, it would have popped straight through. So I've done this on both sides. That's the same one bit of thread, string, rope thing. And then I'm going to grab the other bit of rope and do the same thing on the other side. So this is what it looks like when that's done. Then I'm going to grab the other shelf, and I'm just going to thread each bit through the hole that's basically lined up to it. So that obviously the top right one would go through the top right hole of the second one. Now I'm going to look through that little mark again. I'm going to put another bolt on it so it doesn't slip through. Obviously if you've got like a big thick rope and the hole's not too big, you can actually just do the knots. You don't need to put a bolt or anything on it. So I'm putting a bolt on that and then tying the knot where I've marked it. I'm going to do this for all corners, and then that's pretty much done. All you have to do is hang it up then. So it's pretty simple. Cut off any excess rope that you do have, and it's done. It's simple as that. Once you've finished, all you have to do is pretty much put in a couple of nails in the wall and attach those round hoops to it, and it just dangles like that. There you go, it's done. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and see you in my next video. Bye!